So, this is my first testimony, the long version. Pretty much when I was between 15 or 16, I was as athletic as you could get. I was 185 to 190 pounds of pure muscle. I could sit in math class, watch the teacher write out the problem, and I just knew it. So I'd lay my head down, go to sleep. And in my house, my father, he has always had a tremendous work ethic. Instilled in me, the only difference between success and failure is an excuse. So I ran with that. And so pretty much whenever I got sick, my memory started to go. I could no longer process anything I read or anything that was presented to me. I would read one sentence and have to go through it 100 times and still couldn't even comprehend what I was reading. It would take me 5 hours to pretty much rewrite a paragraph in my own words, but still is pretty much what I was copying. I would work out for 3 minutes, sleep for an hour. I would sleep for 18 hours sometimes. I would skip first period because I was so tired. And some nights I would be awake and I couldn't go to sleep at all because my mind would just race and I couldn't get it to calm down. It just wouldn't calm down. I started having rashes, like just rashes pop up randomly. And it'd be like, where you feel like you're hot and it's almost like itchy but stabbing pain. I would get sleep paralysis randomly, and one of the scariest moments is when I was face down on a pillow and I couldn't move and barely breathe for I don't know how long. I would have chest pains. My hands would shake. I still try to do football, and they would say I was supposed to go left, but my body would go right, and I just couldn't get it to do what I told it to. End up going to a facility in Atlanta, and it turns out that I was being exposed to black mold, and my mold toxin levels in my blood was 3 times higher than that of a high normal. And I had 4 different viral infections. The Epstein virus, monovirus, was in my system as well. And so there goes in the whole complication of problems. And still I would try to apply myself. My mother ended up dying, and the treatment stopped, and I pretty much just gave up. And during that entire process, whenever I just couldn't do anything anymore, there was nothing I could do. I couldn't reply myself. I couldn't read anything. I couldn't understand what I read. Walk for 3 minutes, need an hour nap. One time I lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. I went from 185 to 165 pounds. I just began to get frustrated, and I felt like I cried out for help in a lot of different aspects without begging on my knees, and I just gave up. I was so frustrated. I had a girlfriend at the time. She was a pastor's daughter. She's a sweet girl. And my frustrations and my hopelessness just all built up. And it's like I was getting calloused emotionally, completely calloused. And so I feel sorry for her. But I remember at times I would stay up at night and I would just be so mad at God. I was so frustrated with him, telling why won't you help me? I'm begging you to help me. Why won't you listen? Why won't you do something? It's like I don't know what to do. And at times I would think about killing myself, or but I couldn't because I was too afraid of what was next or what wasn't. Regardless of growing up in, going to certain churches, saying, oh, I accepted Jesus in my heart. So I just couldn't do it. I was too scared of what was next, even though I didn't care about anything anymore at all. So I even started looking up ways I could maybe go to jail for 6 months to a year, just so I could have a break from what am I gonna do. I can't even hold down a job. I just didn't know what to do. I was like, maybe I could just go to jail to have some time so I don't have to worry about it. And I looked for purpose outside of the normalcy of society. I like, apart from a job, apart from working at a soup kitchen, whatever, just whatever would have purpose, because of how hopeless I was. But in my searching, I came to understand that it doesn't matter what you do. No matter what you apply here, no matter how you live, no matter what legacy you build, at some point, all of it will end. At some point, the sun's gonna die. At some point, every purpose on earth, whatever anybody did, adds up to nothing. It's all meaningless. And nothing mattered. It didn't matter. There was no such thing as real hope. Everybody was just a product of chance. And the only thing that separated us from insects was just because we decided that. What was right or wrong was just controlled by whoever was smartest at the time or whoever spoke out first. So I was completely without hope, and I started, smoking weed. Finally, my girlfriend, there was a Winterfest through the church, and I went and I took a small little weed pipe, really big, smoked it around the building, didn't care. And I was just sitting there listening to this guy preach, and he talked about how Paul, after 3 days, began preaching the gospel. And it was in that moment, it's like I took my first breath of air. It's like my entire life I had spent holding my breath, and I didn't even realize I was holding my breath. The songs they were playing now made sense. It's like my entire eyes were opened, and I understood why I was here, what things really meant, what the most important things were. It's just like the light finally came on, and just all the hopelessness that I felt evaporated into air. And then after that, that was it. God changed my life. Jesus came, He found me, and it was the only thing that mattered anymore. I already went through the whole process of seeing how nothing else mattered, and this was the only thing that mattered. And I wanted people so badly to know Him as I got to know Him and what He did for me. And I didn't even have to look for Him, but He found a way. I just can't describe to you what that's like. I know many of you know, but it was something I just will never forget.